Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." There's a quiet moment in every life, a point where the noise fades and you start to wonder, why do we suffer so much from what we cannot control? Why do anger, fear, and disappointment seem to dominate our days, even when nothing truly terrible has happened? You wake up one morning, scroll through your phone, and see chaos unfolding in the world. Someone's opinion, someone's success, someone's tragedy, and before you know it, your peace is gone, replaced by anxiety, comparison, or frustration. We live in a time where control feels like a myth, where emotions rise faster than reason, and calmness is often mistaken for weakness. But imagine this instead: a man standing in the middle of a storm, his eyes steady, his breath slow. He does not resist the wind, nor does he fear the thunder. He simply stands there, aware, grounded, and free within himself. That image captures the essence of Stoicism. Stoicism is not about being emotionless. It's not about suppressing joy, grief, or passion. It's about mastering the one thing that truly belongs to us: our mind. It's about seeing life as it is, not as we wish it to be, and finding peace in that acceptance. To many, Stoicism sounds ancient, distant, a relic of old philosophers in robes. But if you listen closely, you'll realize it's a philosophy built for now, for the modern human who scrolls, rushes, worries, and still longs for meaning. The Stoics, Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus, weren't writing for scholars. They wrote for people living through chaos, emperors facing betrayal, slaves enduring cruelty, citizens navigating uncertainty, and yet their words survived 2,000 years because they speak to a timeless truth, that our suffering often comes not from the world, but from how we see the world. Think of Epictetus, once a slave, who said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That single line has comforted millions, perhaps because it reminds us that freedom begins in the mind. Or Seneca, who wrote letters to his friends about how to live wisely amidst wealth, ambition, and fear. Struggles we still recognize today. He warned that life is not short. We just waste much of it. And Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher emperor, writing to himself in the stillness of night, reminding his own heart, "Do not act as if you are going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you. While you live, while it is in your power, be good." Their voices echo across centuries, whispering the same message: if you want peace, stop trying to control what you cannot. Control yourself, your thoughts, your choices, your inner dialogue. So what is Stoicism really about? It's about living with intention, not reaction. It's about finding calm in chaos, purpose in struggle, and strength in humility. It's a way of seeing the world through reason, virtue, and acceptance. And once you begin to see this way, life changes quietly but completely. The same world remains, but you are no longer the same. You no longer chase every opinion or break under every hardship. You begin to understand what the Stoics called eudaimonia, a flourishing soul aligned with nature and reason. Because in the end, the world does not need to change for you to find peace. You do. In this episode, we will journey deep into the heart of Stoicism, not as a set of rigid rules, but as a living philosophy, one that can reshape the way we think, feel, and act every single day. We'll explore where it came from, why it still matters, and most importantly, how it can quietly transform your life, starting from the inside out.
So take a deep breath, slow down, and let us begin.
Part 2. The Origins of Stoicism, from Athens to Rome. For the Stoic, philosophy was never about debate. It was about life itself. It wasn't a set of theories to admire from a distance, but a way to live and breathe with purpose, clarity, and calm. To a Stoic, wisdom was not found in grand speeches or clever arguments, but in how one faces the ordinary day, in how one endures pain, accepts fate, and chooses to act with virtue even when no one is watching. Stoicism, at its heart, is not about rejecting emotion. It's about disciplining it, not about detachment from the world, but about engaging with it, without losing the peace within. For the Stoics, philosophy was medicine for the soul, meant to heal confusion, temper arrogance, and guide the restless mind toward harmony with nature. The story of Stoicism begins not in Rome, but in the bustling heart of ancient Athens. Around 300 BC there, a man named Zeno of Citium stood quietly in the shadow of the great philosophers. He was not born into wealth or power. He was a merchant, a man of the sea. And one fateful day, the ship carrying all his goods sank beneath the waves. He lost everything: his fortune, his purpose, his certainty. But that loss became his awakening. Wandering the streets of Athens, he found a book, Xenophon's Memorabilia, which described the teachings of Socrates. As he read, something shifted inside him. He realized that the true shipwreck was not the sinking of his cargo, but the fragility of a life built on things that could be taken away. He began to seek a philosophy that could not drown. So he studied with the Cynics, who taught him simplicity, with the Megarians, who taught him logic, and with the academics, who taught him reason. But in time, Zeno stood on his own and began to teach at a place known as the Stoa Poikile, the painted porch in Athens. There, among the columns and murals, Stoicism was born, not in temples or palaces, but in a public space where merchants, travelers, and citizens could listen. It was philosophy for everyone. Centuries later, the teachings of the porch would travel to Rome, carried by minds seeking strength amid empire and chaos. There, Stoicism found new voices. Seneca, the statesman who wrestled with ambition and mortality. Epictetus, the former slave who discovered freedom through discipline, and Marcus Aurelius, the emperor who practiced humility and restraint while ruling the most powerful empire on earth. Each of them lived in vastly different worlds, but all shared one conviction, that the only true good lies in virtue, and the only true evil lies in moral weakness. Everything else, wealth, status, pleasure, even pain, is merely indifferent. It has meaning only in how we respond to it. Think of it this way. When the sea is calm, anyone can steer the ship. But when the storm comes, the real captain appears. The Stoics believed life itself was that storm. Unpredictable, vast, uncontrollable. We cannot still the winds, but we can learn how to steer. And the rudder is our mind. Virtue, they said, is the only compass worth trusting. Wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Everything else fades, like the waves against the shore. That is why Stoicism is not about suppressing emotion, but transforming it. Not about isolation, but integrity. Not about denial, but direction. The art of steering the soul when fate tests our strength. From the ruins of a shipwreck to the corridors of an empire, Stoicism evolved, but its essence never changed. It remained a philosophy of action, not abstraction, a guide for those who wish not just to think about life, but to live it well.
Art will explore how these teachings, born in ancient porches and palaces, can be applied in our modern lives, where storms are quieter but no less real. Because even today, the Stoic lesson remains: you cannot control the world, but you can always control yourself.
Part 3. The Parable of the Broken Vase. There is an old story told among the Stoics. Simple, quiet, yet piercingly profound. A philosopher once owned a vase. It wasn't made of gold or precious stone, but of clay. Ordinary, fragile, imperfect. Every morning he would pour water into it, wash his face, and begin the day with reflection. One day, a young student entered his study, tripped over the small table, and the vase fell to the ground. It shattered instantly. The student froze, his face pale with fear. He expected anger, disappointment, maybe even punishment. But the philosopher simply looked at the broken pieces and said softly, "Be calm, my friend. It was bound to break one day, whether by your hand or mine." He then knelt down, collected the fragments, and placed them in a small wooden box. The student was speechless. "But master," he said, "you loved this vase. You used it every morning." The philosopher smiled faintly, replying, "Yes, I did, and that is exactly why I was prepared to lose it." For a moment, silence filled the room, not heavy, but peaceful, the kind of silence that teaches more than words ever could. This simple story, like many Stoic lessons, is not really about a vase. It is about the impermanence of all things, whether it is a vase, a possession, a person, or even a moment. Everything we hold dear is destined to change or vanish. To live wisely, the Stoics say, is to love what we have fully, while knowing it will not last forever. Epictetus once advised, "When you kiss your child, whisper to yourself, they may not be here tomorrow." This isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It's a reminder that love and loss are two faces of the same coin. When we accept the fragility of what we cherish, we begin to love without fear. The broken vase becomes a mirror, reflecting our attachments, our resistance to change, and our struggle to let go. Most people spend their lives trying to protect everything they own from the natural course of fate. But the Stoic way teaches the opposite: to stand calmly amidst the breaking, to see beyond the fragments, and to find beauty in the acceptance itself. When we understand this, we begin to realize that serenity doesn't come from keeping things unbroken. It comes from knowing that even when they do break, we remain whole. The philosopher's act of placing the broken pieces into a box wasn't an attempt to repair what was lost, but to honor it, to remember that everything beautiful carries within it the seed of its own ending. To be stoic is not to reject emotion, but to purify it, to transform grief into gratitude, fear into wisdom, and loss into peace. And so, each time something in your life falls apart, a plan, a dream, a relationship, remember the vase. Remember the gentle way the philosopher smiled, not because he was cold, but because he understood. Acceptance is not the end of love. It is the maturity of it. As we move forward, we must ask ourselves, what would happen if we lived each day prepared to lose, yet loving fully without holding back? That question leads us into the next reflection: how to cultivate this inner readiness, this calm strength in the face of life's constant change. Part 4. The depth of acceptance. There is a quiet question that often rises when we face loss, impermanence, or the collapse of something we once thought would last forever. If everything is destined to fade, then what gives life its meaning? It's a question that lingers in the silence of the mind, not demanding a quick answer, but inviting us to look deeper. The Stoics, in their calm wisdom, never denied the sorrow of loss. They only sought to understand it. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." To the Stoic, life is not about controlling what happens. It's about mastering the space between event and response. That brief, sacred pause where freedom exists. Take a moment now. Breathe. Between each inhale and exhale, there is a still point, a pause where nothing is grasped, nothing is lost. That pause is the essence of Stoicism. Serenity found not in the absence of change, but in the harmony within it. Eastern philosophy, too, touches this truth. In Buddhism, impermanence, anatta, is not something to resist, but to awaken to. In Taoism, Lao Tzu reminds us, all things rise and fall like the tides. To flow with the Tao is to accept the rhythm of life, the coming and the going, without clinging to either. In this way, East and West meet in the same silent understanding that to live well, one must learn to let go. The Stoic sage and the Zen monk both walk the same path, not of control, but of acceptance. They both drink from the same stillness, even if they name it differently. Now imagine again the broken vase. For most people, it is simply a loss, but to the philosopher, it becomes a mirror reflecting a larger truth. Everything we love, everything we build, every joy we experience, all of it exists within time. And time, like the river, never stops flowing. But here lies the paradox. When we fully accept impermanence, we don't become cold. We become more alive. Because when we stop grasping for permanence, we begin to see each moment for what it truly is. A miracle that could vanish at any instant. Epictetus once said, "When something happens, the only thing in your power is your attitude toward it." The Stoic does not ask life to be easy or fair. He asks only for the strength to remain upright when the wind blows hardest. So, what if the broken vase, the loss, the disappointment are not tragedies, but teachers? What if every ending is simply life whispering, "Do not cling, flow with me"? This reflection leads us toward a deeper truth. That freedom is not the ability to hold on, but the courage to release. It is not found in having everything under control, but in knowing that you can stay calm when nothing is. In both Stoicism and Eastern thought, the wise learn to see beauty in transience. The blossom that falls, the wave that returns to the sea, the flame that burns out softly. Each ending is part of a greater unfolding, and perhaps when Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal at night, surrounded by the silence of his tent, he too understood the world changes, empires fall, and even the stars fade. But the peace within a disciplined soul endures. Let that thought rest in you for a moment. When you next face something slipping away, a person, a dream, or a chapter of your life, remember this. You cannot stop the vase from breaking, but you can choose how you watch it fall. You can meet the moment not with fear, but with quiet understanding. That is the art of living deeply. And now, as we move forward, we'll explore how this wisdom, this strength born from acceptance, becomes the foundation for tranquility in everyday life. Part 5. Living Stoicism. Practice in the modern world. The beauty of Stoicism lies not in abstract philosophy, but in its quiet power to guide us through daily life. It isn't meant to be admired from afar, but lived, moment by moment, choice by choice. The ancients wrote their wisdom for soldiers, merchants, and rulers, not just for scholars. And today, in our fast-paced digital world, their insights remain more necessary than ever. Imagine this. You wake up and immediately reach for your phone. News, messages, notifications, all competing for your attention. Before the day even begins, your mind is already pulled in 100 directions. The Stoic would pause here. He would remind you that you decide what enters your mind. You are the gatekeeper of your peace. First practice, the morning reflection. Before looking at a screen, take a quiet minute to ask yourself, what is truly within my control today? This simple habit, inspired by Marcus Aurelius's dawn meditations, anchors your mind. It separates the noise from what truly matters. Second practice, voluntary discomfort. Seneca often practiced sleeping on the floor or eating simple food, reminding himself that comfort is not a necessity. In the modern world, this might mean walking instead of driving, or taking a cold shower, or putting away your phone for a few hours. The goal is not self-punishment, but freedom. To remind yourself that you can still thrive without constant ease. Third practice, the pause before reaction. Epictetus taught that between stimulus and response lies our greatest power, choice. The next time someone cuts you off in traffic or sends a harsh message online, pause, breathe. Ask, is this worth disturbing my inner peace? Most of the time, the answer is no. Fourth practice, evening reflection. Just as the Stoics began their day with clarity, they ended it with review. Seneca would ask himself each night, what did I do well? What did I do poorly? What could I improve tomorrow? This daily audit turns mistakes into teachers and restores calm before sleep. Through these small acts, Stoicism becomes not a theory, but a rhythm, a way of breathing in the modern world without losing yourself to its chaos. It doesn't demand that you escape society or silence your emotions. Instead, it teaches you how to carry serenity within you, even while the world rushes by. And when practiced consistently, this mindset begins to change how you see everything. Success, failure, happiness, and loss. You no longer chase constant pleasure or fear temporary pain. You begin to understand that peace is not found in changing circumstances, but in changing perspective. Let that sink in. Your peace is not out there. It's here, in how you choose to respond, in how you decide to live each day with intention. In the next part, we'll take this even further, to explore how the Stoic path transforms from discipline into wisdom, and from wisdom into lasting inner freedom, exist amid daily life. Part 6. The closing reflection. The philosophy that changes lives. When all the words fade and the lessons settle, what remains is simple, the way you choose to live today. Stoicism, at its heart, is not about suppressing emotion or pretending to be unshaken. It's about finding calm in the storm, strength in the fall, and clarity in the midst of chaos. It reminds us that peace is not given by the world. It is cultivated within. Marcus Aurelius, centuries ago, faced wars, loss, and betrayal, yet still found time each night to write. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Those words are more than philosophy. They are a map for life. Every difficulty we face can become a bridge toward wisdom if we meet it with awareness. So as you move forward from this reflection, carry this with you. The Stoic life begins not in grand gestures, but in the quiet moments, in how you wake, how you respond, how you choose to see the world. Because when your mind is steady, the world itself begins to calm around you. And in our next episode, we'll explore how this steadiness grows, how to wake up like a Stoic, with clarity, focus, and intention that shapes your entire day. Until then, Remember the essence of Stoic Penglai. Stillness is strength. Reflection is freedom. Peace is a choice.